So welcome back. In this video, we will introduce another instruction that's available in Python for branching purpose, branching type of instruction. And that instruction is called if elif. And what is it for, how we can use it, when we can use it is what the topic of discussion going to be. So let's take a quick look at how the generic structure of if elif works. So if you look over here, I got this line of code is not part of any if elif. So we have if condition 1, if elif condition 2, if elif condition 3, if elif condition 4, and then you have the last one is else block. So how does it work? As you know, when the program starts, it starts with these lines. And then when the computer bumps into this first condition, so there's one of the two things. The condition is true or false. If the condition is true, what it does, it's going to execute these instructions and then right away skip the rest of the instruction and reach over here. These instructions are not part of the if elif. So let's assume the condition is false for a second. If condition 1 is false, then it checks to see the second condition. If the second condition is true, it executes the body of the second elif and then skips the rest of it to over here. And what if, let's say, the condition 2 is also false? If condition 2 is also false, then it proceeds to check to see if the condition 3 is true. If the 3 is true, condition 3 is true, then it executes these instructions and then skips the rest to proceed to these lines. And now, what if the condition 3 is also false? Then it checks to see if the condition 4 is true. If the condition 4 is true, it executes the body of that condition 4 and then skips the else block and arrives over here. Now, the question is, what if the condition 4 is also false? In that case, it executes the body of else. So again, the computer proceeds to the next condition only after checking the previous condition. And if the previous condition is false, then only it checks the next condition. So again, if none of these conditions are true, then by default, it executes the statements under the else block. Basically, this is how the if elif works. One more time, when the condition is true, it executes the body of that condition and then skips the rest of it. And if none of the conditions are true, by default, it goes to the else block. So there are a few things here. Whatever you can accomplish with a nested if else can also be accomplished using if elif. This is a very important thing. If you look at the nested if elif in the previous example that we saw, it looks, for at least visual purpose, it looks slightly complicated, but visually if elif looks a lot simpler. But whatever you can accomplish using nested if else can also be accomplished using if elif. And the third bullet point is when one of the condition is true, the computer does not bother to check the other condition. As we discussed, if this is true, it is not going to bother to check the other conditions. Similarly, it checks this condition only when this is false, right? So let's say if this is true, it is not going to bother to check to the other conditions. You shouldn't be, right? It's not necessary. That's the purpose of if elif. And the last else block is executed only when none of the if elif conditions are true. That means if none of these are true, then by default, it goes to the else block. So basically, that's how the standard structure of an if elif works. So in the next video, we're going to take a look at an example code. We will see a problem description. We will analyze it and we will write it in plain English and then translate that into a program using if elif. So I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.